You ever get a call so outrageous that you almost drop your coffee? Because that's what happened to me at 7:47 a.m. that Monday. My phone lit up, blowing up actually. And I hear Dave, my patrol partner, shouting, "Dan, you better get over to your ranch right now. Margaret's there. She's on 911 saying your dog attacked her." I about choked. Because anyone who knows Buddy, our golden retriever with knees worse than mine, after a double shift knows the only thing he's ever attacked is a couch cushion, and even that's a stretch. But the worst part, my 12-year-old Emma was home alone with him. Margaret, our ever-vigilant HOA president, must have thought she had 20 minutes to do her thing before backup showed up. What she didn't know was I'd swapped my morning route with Dave and was only 2 blocks away, badge, uniform, everything. I had 4 minutes to get there and stop whatever she was trying to pull. I floored it barely. Hearing Dave's voice crackling through the radio, "Unit 23. I heard the call, your address, right?" "Yeah, Dave. Looks like Margaret finally lost her mind." I could see it clear as day. Her standing at my front gate waving her iPad, looming over Emma, who'd probably wrapped herself around Buddy, both of them scared out of their minds. My daughter's tough, but after losing her mom 2 years back, she's been clinging to Buddy like he's her last piece of Sarah. That dog's more than a pet, he's the last thing her mom ever gave her. As I turned onto our street, heart-pounding, I saw them. Margaret in her signature pastel suit pointing at Emma like she was leading a witch trial, 2 patrol cars already there, officers looking uncomfortable. Emma on her knees, clutching Buddy, who was out cold in the grass, gray-faced and blissfully unaware of the chaos his old bones had caused. I killed the engine, did a quick uniform check badge, straight radio clipped, trying to look like the pro I was supposed to be, not the furious dad I felt like inside. I stepped out, slow boots on pavement, let the sun hit my badge for full effect. Margaret's expression flipped from smug to absolutely gobsmacked in about 2 seconds. Officer Morrison responding to a 911 call. I said, voice as level as I could manage, "I understand there's a dangerous animal here. What's the emergency?" Margaret's iPad clattered to the ground. You're not supposed to be at the station." "Surprise! Schedules change. Now what's the problem?" Emma ran to me, burying her face in my side, shaking. "Dad," she said, "Buddy bitter, but he's been asleep the whole time." Buddy chose that moment to let out a snore so epic even the rookie cop had to stifle a laugh. Margaret tried to regain her footing, told me I had no business responding to calls at my own address, that she'd file a complaint. I kept my tone calm, professional. "You called 911, reported an emergency. Any officer nearby responds. You know how that works." Her lips curled. "This isn't over, Officer Morrison. I've been planning this for months. You have no idea what's coming." But what really caught my eye was the little red light on her phone she was recording, trying to set me up for something bigger. A moment later, Dave pulled up, eyes wide, taking in the scene. "She's been tracking your schedule for weeks," he whispered. "Helen saw her parked outside your place, jotting notes. Emma, braver now, piped up, 'Dad, she had papers. Said Buddy broke HOA rules because he breathes too loud.' Even Buddy looked up and yawned, perfect timing." Margaret wasn't done. She marched up, iPad in hand, waving regulations in Dave's face. He glanced through them, eyebrows shooting up. "Ma'am, this is a Word document last edited this morning at 6:47. You can't just make up rules on the spot." I pulled out the official HOA bylaws. "Regulations need a 2/3 vote, 30-day notice." "When was that meeting?" She fumbled, face bright red, muttering about safety and aggressive breathing. Dave handed the iPad back, deadpan. "With all respect, aggressive breathing isn't a thing, and even if it was, it wouldn't justify a 911 call." That's when Helen, our retired nurse neighbor, showed up, phone in hand, filming like always. "You need a witness. I've been recording since 5 this morning." Margaret snapped. "That's illegal." Helen just grinned. "Public street." Margaret, "Perfectly legal. Want to see the footage?" The room got real quiet. The rookie looked like he'd won the lottery, and Margaret's tough act slipped. "Dave, fed up, said last year she called 911 on me for parking 2 inches over my own driveway. 20 minutes on the radio explaining I was on my own property." He turned to Margaret. "You've weaponized emergency services for the last time." Margaret called for an emergency HOA meeting set for that night, threatened a $500 day fine for Buddy the Works. She glared at me. "Badge won't save you in a vote, Morrison." Emma squared her shoulders. "Buddy can't even catch a tennis ball. He's not dangerous." Margaret ignored her, strutting off, but Helen leaned over. Dan, there's more on my video. Margaret met someone at 5 this morning by your fence. A van. Cash exchanged. Driver was her brother-in-law, lost his pest control license for banned chemicals. My stomach dropped. This wasn't just personal, it was a scheme. That night, the HOA meeting felt like a trial. Margaret put on a show, dramatic PowerPoints, blurry photos of Buddy looking meaner than he's ever been. Maps marking our ranch like we were a biohazard. But Emma stood up. Buddy was yawning, not growling. And why were you filming our house at 5 a.m.? Margaret tried to push through her ban on big dogs. $500 day fines, the works. But Helen piped up. I have video of Margaret meeting a pest control van at 5 a.m. Why is our HOA president doing that? The crowd erupted. Dave recognized the company Greenkill banned for illegal chemicals. Now people were murmuring, connecting the dots. Margaret had driven out other families the same way. The next morning, Emma's scream woke me. Buddy was sick, lying in a patch of dead grass, the soil-blackened skull and crossbones burned in. The vet found banned pesticide. Someone wanted to hurt him, not kill. Emma found a notebook in the trash, Margaret's handwriting outlining her plan: 911 call, chemical attack, emergency vote, force us to sell. The notebook named other families. Dave's call confirmed it. Margaret's brother-in-law confessed, said she threatened his family, offered 50 grand all to get us off our land for a developer's payoff. Other families had koi ponds, poison, vandalism, all sold cheap. Just as I wrapped my head around it, a court summons came. Margaret suing me for defamation and harassment. Fine. In court, I laid out everything: Tom's confession, vet's report, Dave's research into illegal chemical clients, linked to Margaret's husband, Emma's recordings of threats, and the notebook. Helen's footage backed it all up. The judge listened, then threw out the lawsuit, referred Margaret for criminal charges, banned her from coming near us. You'd think that'd be the end, right? Wrong. That night, a guy knocks on our door, claims to be a court-ordered animal behaviorist, but Emma recognizes him from a toothpaste commercial. He fakes through a bunch of nonsense about aggressive sleeping disorder until I press him. Turns out he's Margaret's nephew, paid to lie about Buddy. Brad confesses, agrees to go public. At the HOA meeting, he tells the truth. Margaret kept blackmail files on everyone stashed in a storage unit. The room flips. People vote to ban Margaret, toss her rules, and let every big dog stay. Neighbors come up relieved, laughing for the first time in years. Emma asks why people like Margaret exist. I tell her some folks get their power by controlling others. Makes them feel big when they're small inside. She nods, not angry, just sad for Margaret. That night, as I tuck her in, I get an email: Internal Affairs mandatory review for misuse of my uniform. Margaret's last move. At the hearing, her video shows me responding to the call in uniform, but I play back the 911 tape she'd used. The emergency officer needs assistance code, triggering a required response. Helen's recording seals it. Margaret had planned the whole thing, even practiced her lines. The captain dismisses the complaint calls for her arrest on federal charges. 6 months later, Margaret gets 3 years in prison for conspiracy and extortion. Buddy's still snoring at the foot of Emma's bed. The neighborhood's finally peaceful, at least until the next HOA president gets any funny ideas. So what do you think? Should every neighborhood have someone willing to stand up to their Margaret, or is this just what happens when power goes unchecked? Let me know below. Can't wait to see where you all stand on justice, community, and just how far you'd go to protect your own.